Alright everybody, today we're cutting out a Tesla logo. This will be the first cut we're doing with automotive logos. For this one, this is a pretty basic one. I'll go ahead and switch over to show the Carbide Create design here. So as you can see, it's just a basic Tesla logo. We're going to use this piece of wood that we had already cut out and painted red. And so we're also going to be doing this with the new Carbide Motion, so this is a good test for that. It's nothing too complex, the customer's not paying for it or anything. So this will just be a good test to see how it turns out and to make sure all the settings are right. So we'll go ahead and look at the tool paths real quick. So as you can see, we're going on and using the advanced v-carve tool path. And it shows it'll take 10 minutes, so it should be a pretty quick cut. It is showing pine, which this wood is. So we'll go ahead and look at the simulation real quick. So as you can see, it's just the basic Tesla logo, nothing fancy, nothing too complex, but it should turn out pretty nicely, and it'll be a good test for the new Carbide Motion to make sure all the settings are correct. So we'll go ahead and start getting this mounted up on the work surface, and we should be able to move forward. So the first tool it's going to do is the 1/8 inch end mill, so I'm going to go ahead and change out the collet size and to put in the blank so we can zero that. Anytime I switch these, I always look to make sure there's not sawdust or anything filling in these slots here, because if there is, it won't tighten down on your bit good enough, so that's just something always good to check, especially when you go to change it. Okay, so we got the 1/8 inch zeroing blank put in. We'll go ahead now and let that set the height. So we'll go ahead and switch over here to Carbide Motion so we can see what it does as it does it. So I'll just go ahead and bring this over here. We'll click resume since we've inserted the tool. Like I said, this is the first time using this Carbide Motion, so hopefully the settings will work. We'll make sure. Alright, so we'll go ahead and load the new file. So it is on the desktop. So this one's Tesla fixed. We had the Tesla with the original Carbide Create, and it was just Tesla, so we just changed it to fixed for this. So we'll go ahead and click open. Okay, so here it shows what the stock size is, the height. This says a cutting time of 12 minutes. Then it goes through and tells the tools that we'll be using. So we'll click done on that. So for I need to go ahead and mount this, so we'll do quick actions, load material. So it's going to move this to the back of the machine. Make sure get this moved. Okay, so we'll hit yes. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get this set up on the board. Since I'm not cutting all the way through, I'll get these two spacers out of the way. Let's see, since it's not perfectly square, I need to go ahead and get measurements to know which way to put it. So it's 7 1/4 this way. I want to make sure it's installed like this. Go ahead and take my tool here to measure, make sure it's all square and even. Okay, that's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and get our clamps moved around like we need. Got that down pretty good. We'll wait on this last clamp after we zero it. I'll like to double check this, make sure we're still in the right position. Okay, so that shows we're in good shape. So now we'll go ahead and get the material and the machine zeroed. Okay, so now we'll come on over here to jog and start getting this zeroed. Okay, so we just had it measure the height of it, so we don't have to do that right now, so we'll hit continue. So now it's saying not to change the tool. Let's go ahead and just do rapid position. That should get us there. We'll do SW. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put this on. Begin the probe. I like to hold it here just to make sure it doesn't try to move on us when it does this. Okay, so we have it zeroed now. Go ahead and move the run down. So Tesla fixed. We can check the preview again if we want to. This shows the top view of what it's going to do, the preview. Then there's a front view. Then you can see if you have anything going really, really deep for some reason, which in this case we do not, which is a good thing since we're not actually cutting all the way through. ISO view, this shows us from this third projection angle. Then this just goes through the G-code. I don't think we really need to go through that right now. Let's see, if we go ahead and start the job, it may prompt us to change the tool like the old one. And then while it's over here waiting for the new tool, I'll get the clamp put in. Get this tool changed out now. Okay, so we'll go ahead and look at this bit here for a second. So we wanted to make sure I had a good sharp one. It doesn't zoom in great, but it does a little bit. But anyway, this one's pretty decent shape, so we'll go ahead and use it. We did tighten the collar here. So I'm doing the advanced v-carve. That way it'll use this bit to hog out most of the material, then it'll come back with the V-bit and get the sides. So we get that nice V shape. So we'll go ahead and let it get the measure the height of this tool. Okay, this is also nice. Now it shows you what speed dial to make sure your router's changed to. If you use the Carbide 3D compact router, which I have. So it goes ahead and tells you to put it on 3, so that's pretty nice, so you don't have to try to guess. Go ahead and get my safety glasses and turn it on and we'll get started. Actually, we'll go ahead and put our dust boot on first, then we'll get started. Okay guys, as you can see, we're here at just over 10% now. It has finished this top part up here, so now it's coming down to finish the rest of the logo, and then we'll switch over to the V-bit and it'll get it cleaned up. Okay, so as you can see here, we're about 37%. We're still on the 1/8 inch end mill, about 8 minutes left. So pretty soon we should be changing bits. And then we'll get the V-bit and it'll start to clean up those rough edges. I don't know if you can see it yet, but I'll show after it stops so we can hear everything better. So it did finish with the 1/8 inch end mill, so the spindle's been turned off. So we'll go ahead and hit resume here. We'll be ready for the bit change. We'll go ahead and put in this 60-degree V cutter. Here's the bit we're going to be using to finish this off. This one should be pretty decently sharp, so it should take off most of those rough edges. Get the height zeroed out. Okay, so it's ready to go again. Put on the dust boot. Safety glasses on. We'll turn on our dust collection. Put on the router. We're ready to resume. Okay, so it's about 90% of the way there. It says we have 3 minutes left. So the V-bit is going to get up quite a bit. When it gets finished, we'll see how it looks. 99.5% of the way there. We're just going through cleaning up the corners right now. So it's getting really close to being done. As soon as it finishes up, we'll look at it and see how it did. We may have to go back and hit some of these corners up later, but we can do that. So we'll go ahead and look at it and see how it turned out. From this view, it looks pretty nice. So some of this down in here may need to be cleaned up with a box cutter or a little chisel or something. Some of that's kind of hairy, but that'll be quick and easy to clean up. I'll go ahead and get this taken off the surface here, and we can get a better look at it. There's this. It looks pretty decent. Like I said, there's still some hairiness up here, but that's peeling away really, really easy. I guess that's where the V-bit got down in there and didn't get it all cut out. But I can clean that up pretty quick with a box cutter or with a chisel. So we'll go ahead and get that cleaned up, and then it'll be ready for a coat of polyurethane. Little chisel here. It's pretty sharp, so it shouldn't have much of an issue getting those hairs off. So we'll go ahead and try with this, see how it does. If we need to, we can always switch to a box cutter, but I think this will get the job done. So we'll just start in here, just real lightly touching it. Normally you wouldn't want to do that with your hand in the path, but like I said, I'm just barely applying any pressure. Yeah, there's that. Looks pretty good. I'll take it to the air compressor, blow it off, and I'll go ahead and get a coat of polyurethane on here. Okay, we'll go ahead and get a clear coat on here. I like to use this Krylon triple thick crystal clear glaze. It makes a really nice, really thick, shiny coating on it, so it should look really good on here. This can's actually almost empty, so we'll go ahead and try it, see how much I have left, and I have more if I need it. Hopefully there's enough to do that. It'll be close. Okay, we'll go ahead and let this dry, and then we'll see how it looks. May need to put a second coat. So as you can see, the polyurethane's dried on here. It turned out really nice. I did go ahead and do an extra coat, so it had 2 coats of the Krylon triple thick glaze on here. I think it's turned out really, really nice, especially just for a quick cut to make sure the new Carbide Motion was working and to use this scrap piece of wood I had laying around. So we'll go ahead and probably do a couple more vehicle logos as part of a new series we'll do. So make sure to subscribe, stick around for those. We'll do a Ford logo, Chevrolet logo, probably integrate some epoxy into some of those as well. So make sure to stick around for that, and thanks for watching.